They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of this place.
Ill, y'all niggas better listen. I'm black pill ill, y'all niggas better listen. I'm black pill ill, y'all niggas better listen. I'm black pill ill, y'all niggas better listen. I'm black pill, I'm ill with this will. 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 I'm black pill, I'm ill with this will.
I'm not with the casual hookup anymore in my life.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
What did you say now?
I'm sick and tired of you. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Yo.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. What's up? Now, this video is Casper Pill 2.0, you know. And, I did a Casper Pill stream months ago, you know. And I think it was all the way back in last spring or summer. So, what is the Casper Pill? Before I get to that, I just want to give you a warning, that, a lot of information is about to be shared on here, and some of this stuff might alter your way of thinking to where you won't go back. And some of this might open your mind to something, but, the Casper Pill is, it's a very, very important aspect. So what is the Casper Pill? Well, the Casper Pill is basically another perspective you got to prescribe to maintain being black pilled. You see a lot of people in the community basically say, yeah, I'm black pilled, but also there was a lot of people in the community that didn't know how do you stay black pilled? How do you stay black pilled? What's the process of staying that way? Now, we covered in Casper Pill 1.0, I basically covered, at the time it was a very new perspective in philosophy and a very new perspective in thinking. So basically the Casper Pill is a perspective of approaching life as a full-time ghost. You see, in the rest of the manosphere, for example, the red pill sector, or as I call them, the lesser pill community. And the lesser pillar community, such as the red pill and the purple pill community, pink pill, whatever, they believe you should only be ghosting people. You know what I'm saying? So, example, you ghost a girl for a date, you ghost somebody for some event, whatever. But the problem with that level of ghosting is that it leaves you open. It leaves you open to society still manipulating you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're only part-time ghosting. You know what I mean? Or ghost relationships. Well, if you ghost relationships, that doesn't mean you ghosted society's interests, such as politics, such as other interests. So now, when it comes to caspering, it's basically seeking to become a full-time ghost. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's basically seeking to become a full-time ghost in society. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically ghosting society completely. Now, that was Casper Pill 1.0. Casper Pill 1.0 was all about the ghosting process externally. You know what I'm saying? So external, basically, you're ghosting a lot of social media and all that stuff, you're ghosting a lot of demands from you from society. So you're basically living your life. You know what I'm saying? And that means you're willing to ghost all things, everything in your life. You know what I mean? For example, if you were invited to the family reunion, you know what I'm saying, you don't think you want to go, or you just made a decision that you don't want to go. You know, so you don't. You see, the black pill is about seeking solutions and thinking in a process without attachments and emotions when it comes to seeking out solutions in your life. Now, where the Casper pill comes in is that the Casper pill is about maintaining that lack of attachment and emotion. You know what I'm saying? So with the Casper pill, you have to be able to ghost everything. You know what I'm saying? That means you have no attachments to anything. You know, your life, for example, in life, you would basically say you don't got attachments to a household, nothing. Everything is about maintaining your existence as a ghost. You know what I'm saying? And you live in society as a ghost. And what happens when you become a full-time ghost is that society cannot manipulate you. You know what I'm saying? Externally. Now, in the Casper Pill 1.0, I focus more on the external way of being a ghost. You know, so I'm gonna continue that route for you before I explain to you what Casper Pill 2.0 is. So Casper Pill 1.0 is all about external attachments and emotions. So that means your house, your car, basically everything you have to be able to leave it behind. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to leave all property behind. You have to be able to be detached from holidays, detached from your birthday. You have to be a ghost. Because now, why did I call it the Casper Pill? Well, you got to remember the movie Casper. The movie Casper was all about this little girl trying to bring that turned Casper, who's now a ghost, back into the living. You know what I'm saying? So when you become a full-time ghost in society, now society's gonna seek to recapture you and reclaim you. You know what I'm saying? So when you're a full-time ghost, when the holidays don't matter, nothing matters beyond what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And you exist as a full-time ghost. And here's the thing, even if you have a social media account, you could be a lurker, you know what I'm saying? Or you're only on there for your specific reasons. You know what I'm saying? The Casper Pill is all about being a ghost, existing in society as a ghost, completely detached. You know what I'm saying? The more detached you are from society and its manipulative, propaganda and so on. For example, a person who's a Casper Pillar, you know what I'm saying? If something happens around their neighborhood, let's say some big issue, you know what I'm saying? They will remove themselves from it and they will not be attached emotionally, you know what I'm saying? And it's a very, very hard pill to swallow, the Casper Pill, because it's very hard to dictate yourself to where, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you're black. Oh, it's Black History Month. Okay, what about it? You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's 4th of July. What about it? You know what I'm saying? Not having any attachments. You know, other people gonna say, well, you're not living, why aren't you celebrating these holidays and so on? No, you are living. You're living for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Your interests are your priority. And you're not attached to anything that forces you to be a group. You know what I'm saying? forces you to follow suit in a group mentality. You know what I'm saying? So the Casper pill is ghosting all of society. You know what I'm saying? Physically. You get a call, you only go and you only do what you want. You do not do anything because someone is dependent on your attachment to them, or someone is dependent on your holidays, or, you know what I'm saying, or you celebrating something, you know? Give me 1 minute. Yeah. So, you know, the Casper pill is about no attachments, no physical attachments at all. You know what I'm saying? No social attachments. It's a way to free yourself. The only thing you're attached to is yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that means, and it means family. There's a lot of things you got to detach from. Because if you ghost dating, and you know, we got a lot of this in the manosphere where they tell you, hey man, you got to be a ghosting citizen, a gray man. Yeah, but those are partial levels of ghosting. You know what I'm saying? But when you have decided to be a full-time ghost, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna clear you. Because, you know, the thing with this society we live in is that there's a lot of advertisement and incentives to make you attached to so much, man, you know, physically. You know what I mean? And once you've completely detached yourself, you know, you will be free to focus on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of help gurus telling you, hey, here's how to get better, blah, 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 blah. How to get stronger, to look this way for society. How to do this for society, that for society. You know what I'm saying? It's all about how do you fit in the society, but better. You know what I'm saying? But the Casper pill is about how do you focus and zone in on yourself. The way you do that is you become completely detached. You become a ghost. You know what I'm saying? You ghost everything, man. If you know, you live by these rules, man. 0 attachments and 0 emotional attachments. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't you, then it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? And this implies to relationships. This implies to your housing, the way you live. There's just so much about this ghost perspective. And the thing about going full-time ghost is that a lot of it is actually returning to the natural state of manhood, which is minimalism. You know what I'm saying? Minimalism, man. Because here's the thing, man, and you could see with what happened during Conan 19. The society is willing to sacrifice your existence, your health, the way you're earning money, the way you're living your life at a drop of a dime for its propaganda and incentives. You know what I'm saying? So if you're attached to it, oh man, I bought a big ass house for this to be looking great in this society. I bought this car because it's gonna make me look great in this society. You know what I'm saying? When you buy all this stuff, it's attached. You know, you're attached to it. Now, if you bought a car for like let's say you for a rental service, you know, you bought an extremely expensive car for like a luxury rental service, or you bought a house so you could rent it out. Yeah, by all means, that's great. That's business. That's not an attachment of emotion. That's just an attachment of making some profit. You know what I mean? The Casper pill will basically turn you into a full-time ghost. You know what I'm saying? Now, that was Casper pill 1.0, you know? Now, while doing some research in philosophy, thinking a lot, you know what I'm saying, getting my head straight, I realized something. realized something big. And that was Casper Pill 2.0. I realized I was missing something. You see, I covered all about the attachments, the physical attachments, but I didn't cover the mental and emotional, aspect of your identity. You know what I'm saying? For example, you could ghost your physical form. You get what I'm saying? You could walk around, dress a certain way, avoid certain activities. But, and this is the warning, this is a section of the video that's really gonna alter the way you think and really wake you up, is that, can you ghost your identity? You know what I'm saying? Can you ghost your identity? Now, I did a video about nostalgia. I did a video about nostalgia, how basically this YouTube generation, the YouTubers are basically destroying nostalgia. They're destroying mainstream nostalgia of television and all this other stuff. They're destroying it because, during this age, you don't have to watch reruns on TV. You got new YouTube content every day to watch. You know what I'm saying? But in that video, I touched up on something very big, and that was nostalgia and its effects and its side effects. Now, fast forward to months later, I might have made that video over a year ago. Then I started wondering, man, how do you ghost your identity? You know what I'm saying? How do you ghost your identity? And I realized something huge, groundbreaking. What I realized is the only way to ghost your identity is to actually figure out, is it your true identity? As in, was it your choice for this to be your identity? And this part, man, this part right here, bro, it's gonna warp your mind. You know what I'm saying? And this is the part of becoming the full-time ghost. Because what you're about to learn here, and you could feel free to make a video on the Casper Pill, bring up your thoughts and what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? So now this is the part that, while thinking about this thing, it nearly broke my mind. You know what I'm saying? I realized, for example, you're born in an Italian family. Let's say you're born in an Italian family. You're born in a Jamaican family. You're born in a Haitian family. You're born in an Irish family, whatever. Now, let me ask you something. Why are you Irish? Why are you still Italian? Why are you still Jamaican? Why are you still Haitian? Was this your choice? You know what I'm saying? Was this your choice to identify as this maybe either nationality or race? Was it your choice? Now, here's the thing. We can't change, being identified as, for example, I'm a Negro, I'm a black man, whatever. That ain't gonna change. It is what it is. That's my physical form. I'd be an idiot to not, accept that fact. It is what it is, and I'm happy I am what I am. But now, for example, I'm Haitian. Why should I accept being Haitian? You know what I'm saying? Is that of my choosing, or is that, the way I was raised? Accepting the way I was raised and the education and all that stuff that comes with it. Is this, is identifying as this nationality something I'm doing of my own choice? Or is it something I accepted because I grew up this way? You know what I'm saying? So what I realized is, man, I could stop identifying as a Haitian. Just as you could stop identifying as Italian, Jamaican, Indian, Native American, because it wasn't of your choosing. You see, you got to be able to ghost everything. You know what I'm saying? And if you can ghost everything, you can even ghost your own identity. You know what I'm saying? The identity that was given to you. You know what I'm saying? And it warped my mind. Shout out to the homie Neo Wolf, because I was talking to Neo Wolf about some exercising and all that stuff. And while talking to him, I realized, man, the reason we have a lot of issues with weight is that we can't disassociate our attachment to certain food. We can't disassociate with it because we don't understand that it wasn't of our choosing. I'll give you an example. Give me one sec. I'll give you an example. You see, for example, your first cookie as a child. For some people, their first cookie was a chocolate chip, maybe oatmeal, maybe some traditional nationality cookie thing, but it wasn't of your choosing. You get what I'm saying? It was what your parents gave you, your relatives. It wasn't of your choosing. So when you say, you know what, man, my favorite cookie is chocolate chip, I've been eating it my whole life, you know what I'm saying? Or my favorite cookie is Oreo. How is it your favorite cookie? How is it your favorite cookie when you were not the person that chose this cookie to be the first cookie introduced to you? You know what I'm saying? So Casper Pill 2.0 is basically ghosting on a mental level, on a mental playing field. Like, for example, a lot of people will say, man, I can't do this, I'm Italian. I can't do this, I'm Christian. I can't do this, I can't do that, because they're identifying and attached to the identity they were given against their own choice. You know what I'm saying? The Casper Pill is about choice and zero attachments. Zero attachments to anything that isn't of your choosing. And what I realized while talking to the homie Neo Wolf is I realized that, man, the reason we're overweight, the reason we're getting sick and we miss eating something is because we're attached to it. We're attached to something we didn't have a choice when it came to how we ended up digesting it or eating it, or it becoming something that is our favorite thing. You know what I'm saying? So I realized, man, how do you go full ghost? How do you Casper? Like, for example, check it out. A ghost can't really eat. A ghost can't really taste. You know what I'm saying? So and a ghost has no, at some points has no, I think if you watch the movie Casper the Friendly Ghost, they didn't have a form. They didn't have a form that resembled a human identity. You know what I'm saying? So I realized, man, we have to learn how to ghost everything. That even means our own identity. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point you have to ask yourself the greatest question of all. Was it of my choosing? And the reason I brought up nostalgia is, think about it. When you were little, some of y'all grew up watching Blue's Clues. Some of us Ninja Turtles, cartoons, this and that. But you got to ask yourself, was this something of your choosing? Or was it something your parents just put on and you watched it? You know what I'm saying? So you never had a choice. So how can you claim this is something you enjoy and this is your favorite when you got access to it without it being your choice? You know what I'm saying? Without it being your choice. So we're gonna keep going further. Yeah. So, now I know what you're wondering. What do I mean of your choosing? Well, you got to understand this, man. You got to understand this. You started making a choice when, I think most people around 12, 13 start identifying things they prefer or don't prefer. You know what I'm saying? But then maybe around age 16 to about 18, you start realizing what you're truly interested in. You know what I'm saying? That's when you made your choice, So what you have to understand is that your nationality, your religion, you know what I'm saying? Was it your choice? That's what you got to ask yourself. Was it of your choosing? Or was it something you were given and you grew up on? You know what I'm saying? What they're doing. So, the thing is this, you got to understand. We didn't choose when or who would give birth to us. You know what I'm saying? We didn't choose where we were going to be born. We didn't choose the traditions of our family and how they were going to raise us. You know what I'm saying? And once you realize this, man, and this is why the Casper Pill 2.0, it's mind-boggling, man. It's a mind trip, Because think about it. When you say I identify as a Christian, I identify as a Jamaican, and you put your nationality in front of you as your identity, you're also identifying your limitations. You know what I'm saying? Your limitations. So you start identifying as your limitations. You know what I'm saying? For example, if you're Christian, depending on the sect of Christian you are, Baptist or, maybe you're Catholic or whatever, that's another whatever it is, you're identifying as your limitations. You know what I'm saying? To be a full-time ghost, to completely exist as a ghost, you cannot claim more than what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Somebody asks you your race or your religion, your nationality, you should identify as what you want. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a difference between if you're born there. Now, people could tell you, oh man, you're in Jamaica, you're Jamaican. Yeah, they could tell you that. But if you identify as, no, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I was born here, but think about it. You know what I'm saying? But in a whole, I'm a human first. You know what I'm saying? I'm a person of the planet first. I just was born on this section of the planet called Jamaica. I was born on this section of the planet referred to as Italy. You know what I'm saying? So once you learn this, man, it's mind opening. It starts making you question stuff in your life, question your own identity. Was it of your choosing? You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't of your choosing, then why are you attached to it? You know what I'm saying? Why are you attached to this, man? And it will break your mind, because the black pill, shout out to one of the homies, man. I forgot who said it. It might be, shout out to the homie JP, man. JP told me to, go deeper into this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? But I think, JP said it, the black pill is mental maxing. You know what I'm saying? Mental maxing. It's all about maximizing your mind. You know what I mean? And when you take the Casper pill, which is one of the pills needed to remain black pilled, I did a video on what they call this video, The black pill kit. You know what I'm saying? The pill kit, it basically tells you the essential pills you need to remain black pilled. You know what I'm saying? You can watch that video, the pill kit. You know, I'm updating a lot of stuff. As you know, as my mind goes deeper, I start realizing there's some stuff I'm missing. So with the Casper Pill 2.0, man, it's really, and here's the thing about this. I did a video called Existence Over Purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's called Existence Over Purpose, where I talked about minimalism and, you know, why your existence has to be priority. In all honesty, that video most likely is the precursor to the Casper Pill. You know what I mean? But I now realize how your existence can come before your purpose. You know what I'm saying? And it's this Casper Pill, man, this perspective. Because if you basically start identifying and breaking down your whole life to one thing, what was of your choosing? What was your choice in life? You know what I'm saying? What was given to you? What was forced on you? And what was your choice? And when you start breaking that down, going through a psychological, mental journey, you start realizing that, man, there's a lot of stuff I identify with, or my identity is built around, that I didn't choose. You know what I'm saying? You didn't choose it. It was given to you by birth, you know what I'm saying? Or by, you know, circumstances of how you were raised. You know, so when you realize this, man, it's gonna clear your mind, you know? It's gonna actually make you healthier. You know, I had to do this update. I had to look around it, think about it, because, you know, I'm trying to get healthier, get in better shape. No, I'm not trying to, I'm planning to. I'm participating in that. And then I realized, man, you know, how do you get healthier? You know, how do you get healthier physically when you're craving certain foods? You know what I'm saying? You're craving certain foods and you have like a guilt for not eating it. Like, you know, you feel like you're punishing yourself because, hey, man, I'd love a chocolate chip cookie right now. I'd love what would you do for a Klondike bar? You know what I mean? I'd love a Klondike bar. And then you realize, man, all this stuff I'm missing, all this food and all this stuff I'm missing, I'm not missing it because I actually want it. It's something that was forced on me and I just accept it. You know what I'm saying? I accept that. For example, if you're Italian, you know, I got a few Italian homies. They would always tell me, man, I'm Italian. You know, I eat a lot of carbs, a lot of spaghetti, a lot of lasagna. I eat a lot of carbs. You know what I'm saying? I'm Italian. Listen to what he said. I'm Italian. So to justify their actions, they place their cultural identity in front of it. But here's the thing, man. You didn't have a choice when it came to starting your life off as Italian. You didn't have a choice starting your life off as a Jamaican. You didn't have a choice starting your life off as an Indian. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have a choice when it comes to how your life started. You know what I mean? So once you realize this, it's mentally freeing. Like, it's breaking your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's breaking a whole mental ceiling and a whole wall. You know, for example, I got a few homies, man. Some of my homies, got a few Jewish homies, whatever. You know what I mean? I got some homies around the world, you know. But you gotta understand is that once you realize, even if you're in that location, for example, let's say you're in Germany, you know what I'm saying? And all the culture, there's a lot of German culture, whatever. And you realize what you just realized with this Casper Pill 2.0, that, man, You didn't choose to be German. You didn't choose it at the start. You didn't choose how you started life. You know what I'm saying? So if you didn't choose how you started life, and now you have the choice to choose how you continue life, so why do you still identify as the nationality you were born? Why? Why do you still identify by the limitations of a certain culture? You know what I mean? If you were born in that culture or not, why do you still identify as it? You know? Is this by choice? Or is this because, hey, you were raised this way and you're just gonna stay that way? You know what I'm saying? So why? You know? And, you know, and if you start thinking about this in this process of, man, I didn't choose to be Nigerian. I didn't choose to be Native American. I didn't choose to be Indian. I didn't choose this culture or this identity. You know what I'm saying? Now, what would I choose if I had a choice? You know what I'm saying? If I had a choice, what would I choose to identify as? And I got some homies that are, you know, like, I think one of the homies is Indian. You know what I mean? But he identifies with the Pan-American, you know, Pan-American movement, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I got another homie that's of another religion, of another background, and he chose to identify as, even though his family, he grew up in a religious family, he chose to identify as agnostic. He's not religious. But at the same time, he's still identifying, you know, based on the culture he was given. You know what I'm saying? The cultural identity, you know? So it's a lot, you know, even while I'm talking to you, you know, a lot of people don't know, man, I don't write scripts, man. I just think of what my talking point's gonna be about. And while I'm talking to you, it's coming out. You know what I'm saying? I'm expressing myself freely. There's no script here. I'm just going on this mental journey and this mental, you know, I'm minding my own mind, you know, to find the solutions and answers, you know. But yeah, so you gotta think about it. And what is the freedom? The true freedom and acceptance. And what comes is you will arrive at the point of existence. You know, your whole mind will be free. Like while I'm talking right now, like my brain is racing. I'm like, man, I didn't know none of this, man. I didn't know none of this until a couple weeks ago, and I started thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about it a lot more. So, you know, it opens your mind and you're like, wow. So all these years when I've lived with my family or whatever, and I kept identifying with this race and this identity, you know, this religious identity, this cultural identity, this nationalistic identity, it wasn't of my choosing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't of my choosing. So if it wasn't of my choosing when I started, why is it still something I'm doing? I'm still invested in when I have a choice to no longer be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. For example, there's a lot of people from other countries, you know what I'm saying? But they don't dress traditionally like their country. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff they left behind in their country to assimilate. You know what I'm saying? To assimilate, you know? But at the end, they chose to assimilate. You know what I mean? They chose that, you know? So there's a lot of that, man. There's a lot to process. And when you reach this level of thinking, you're gonna reach the point of existence. I know what you're thinking, man. Well, what you mean by point of existence? You know, what is existence all about? You know, isn't that like a question? Isn't existence something you wonder about? No, man, existence has been the same forever. You know what I'm saying? You're born, you live, you know, you need the necessities, food, shelter, security, and resources. You know what I'm saying? That's existence. And then the rest of life is a luxury, you know? Because, you know, there's a lot of people in the manosphere telling you, well, you know, you gotta have purpose. Must have purpose in life. Your purpose. Your purpose. Your purpose. You gotta do this for purpose. For purpose. But here's the problem with purpose, is that purpose constantly changes. You know what I'm saying? The purpose of a man in the 1980s isn't the same purpose as a man in the 1990s. In fact, the purpose of a man in 1980 ain't the same as the purpose of a man in 1985. You know, depending on the technological advancements. You know what I'm saying? For example, you bring a guy from the 80s where the purpose of success and, you know, to maximize your purpose, you had to have like a big ass cell phone, a big briefcase, and all this out, you know, this type of technology. You bring a guy from the 1980s to the year 2022. You know, is this purpose, you know what I mean? Is this purpose, does it translate to modern time? Odds are it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Because what he thought was his purpose in the 80s, it changed in today's modern time, over 20 years later. You know what I'm saying? It changed. You know, so the purpose of a man in the year 2022 is nowhere near the same purpose of a man in the 80s, nor a man in the 90s, a man in the 2000s, a man in the 2010s. And I'll give you an example. In the 2010s, you had 4G, 3G, whatever. You know, we just got to 4G. You know what I'm saying? You give a guy in the 2022s who's now has access to 5G technology, you give him the highest point of accomplishment in the 2010s, and he's gonna look at you like, man, this is garbage. You know what I'm saying? You're telling me to leave 5G for 4G or 3G? You know what I'm saying? The advancements were far below what it is now. You know what I'm saying? Your purpose, you gotta understand, your purpose with society always changes. You know what I'm saying? Society usually dictates your purpose, you know, the government and the society as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Your purpose here as a man, you know? But the problem with your purpose is it's to ignore. When you choose your purpose over your existence, you're ignoring the fundamental thing in your life that you have to maintain. You know what I'm saying? That you have to maintain and continue to be aware of, which is your existence. You know what I'm saying? Your existence and how far you can go with that in mind, and understanding that once you no longer exist, you can't do nothing. You're done. You know what I'm saying? You die, you pass away, your existence is gone. You know what I mean? Your existence is no longer present. You know, you no longer exist. And when you no longer exist, you can't accomplish or do anything. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, you gotta focus on that. And what happens is, once you've removed yourself of the limitations of your identity that you didn't choose. You know, you didn't choose this identity. You know, so once you've become aware of your identity, and whether in the choices you've made or the choices you had no choice in, and what was forced upon you, or just how you were raised, you start understanding that, man, What I identify with wasn't of my choosing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't of my choosing. It wasn't my choice. So it's not my true identity. You know what I'm saying? And when you figure this out, it becomes easier to diet. It becomes easier to exercise, easier to better yourself, because you start questioning and understanding, habits you've come into, whether they were of your choice or not. You know what I'm saying? And once you understand this, it's gonna clear your mind. It opens your mind to something, man, and it opens your mind to complete control. You know what I mean? And it's what many can't find. Because think about it. He's gonna vote for us. We represent all the Christians. He's gonna vote for us. We represent all the Jamaicans. He's gonna vote for us. We represent all the Italians. You see, they always utilize your attachments to an identity to ensure how they will market to you and how they will seek to control and eliminate your choices. Because you're gonna be, well, man, that person's a Haitian, that person's a Jamaican, that person's an Indian, that person's an Arab. I'm gonna vote for him because that's what I am. That's what I am. You know what I'm saying? And once you do that, you start losing control, because now it's not about morality. It's not about if that person's right or wrong. You're strictly supporting them because of identity politics. Because of identity politics, that's why you're supporting them. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're supporting them, which means you're not even thinking. You're just, well, man, I identify as this, so it is what it is. I'm just gonna go with it, like a zombie. You know what I'm saying? Like a sheep. You know what I'm saying? Like a sheep being herded based on identity. And you're just gonna follow the shepherd, and the shepherd is your identity. You know what I'm saying? And that limits you. That limits you in life. There's a lot of people I've spoken to, but due to their what they identify as nationality wise or religious wise, they won't do certain things because they say, well, I can't do that, sir. By golly, I'm a Christian. I can't do that, sir. By golly, I'm a Muslim. I can't do that, sir. By golly, I'm an American. You know what I'm saying? It's an attachment to limitations. You know what I mean? And the thing is, with this attachment to limitations, and it's a narrative that's been pushed around for, what is it now? Over a decade. It's been pushed around over a decade, and it's a way to have you conform. It's been pushed around for over hundreds of years. Oh man, all the Native Americans did this and that. They all identified as this and that, so they all moved the same way. And look what happened to the Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? So they want you to move the same way. Because when you focus solely based on the identity you were born with, you know what I'm saying? You were born with, or you know what I'm saying? You were born with and raised in. They basically use that as bait to control you. You know what I'm saying? To control you. Because once they know you solely follow your identity, you become predictable. You become absolutely predictable, man. And once you're predictable, they don't even gotta try. They know your limitations. And then in living in those limitations, you've basically limited your potential in the future, because you'll always use your identity as a way to limit what you can and or won't do. You know what I'm saying? So it's a huge breakthrough, man. It's huge breakthrough in mental development. You know what I'm saying? And once you become aware of this, of your choices when it comes to your identity, once you become aware of this, you know what I'm saying, you can move a lot different. And here's the thing, you won't move with any ounce of guilt. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, depending on your nationality or your religious identification, they will guilt you into doing something. Oh man, no wonder you don't do it. You know, let me put the Jamaican accent. No wonder you won't do it. You're not a true Jamaican. You're no true boy. No wonder you don't do it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna guilt you based on your nationality. They use your nationality as though it's a stop sign. You know what I'm saying? As though it's a stop sign for you to not do something. You know what I mean? It's a limiter. You know? It's like once you identify something just because of your birth and how you were raised, it basically creates a traffic light situation. For example, if someone's Jamaican, I know exactly what a Jamaican will or will not do or is cautious of. So I know exactly what's the green light, what's the red light, and what's the yellow light to how they move, how they maneuver themselves. You know what I'm saying? It makes you predictable. And once you're predictable, it's a lot easier to control you. And here's the thing about that, is that, you know, man's natural behavior was nomadic. Man's natural behavior is about nomadic. I mean, look at all the vehicles, look at the airplanes, look at everything we have that's based around travel. I mean, right now you could travel all over the world. You could even take a plane that will fly for 12 hours to another country. You could take a boat. You could take a train. You know what I'm saying? There's so much you can do. You know what I'm saying? There's so much you can do. You know what I mean? There's so much you can do right now in the pursuit of nomadic mobility. You know what I'm saying? And that goes into our identity as men. I mean, when we were hunting, you know what I'm saying? Even now, when you're hunting, you know, our ancestors, they would follow the animals. They would follow these animals. You know, they weren't about, well, this is the land of my ancestry. This is the location of my great grandfather. This is the land of my ancestry. No, they weren't like that. They weren't like that, man. They were basically about, you know what I'm saying? They were basically about going wherever the resources were. You know what I'm saying? But as technology started advancing, where you could control the resources and mold that society, then you started having more of a, oh, this is the land of my ancestors and this is a society of my people. You know what I'm saying? You started having more of that because the society was far more within the control of the people and how they basically manipulated it. You know what I'm saying? So within society, this is what you started having, you know? Once we got the technology and all that, we became somewhat less nomadic. You know what I'm saying? Less nomadic, less maneuvering around from place to place. You know what I'm saying? We became far less nomadic. You know what I mean? And we moved a lot less. You know, so to me, man, it's and here's the thing, a lot of people think what I'm saying is, oh man, that doesn't apply to modern day. Doesn't apply to modern day, but look at a city when you have a massive blackout, like all the electricity completely goes out. all the electricity goes out. Now everybody's moving around looking for where there is electricity. Or if there's a full-blown blackout, people start maneuvering differently. Because here's the thing about technology. What's funny about technology is that all it takes is a blackout. You know what I'm saying? All it takes is a blackout. And we're back. We're back to the primal age. You know what I'm saying? We're back to trying to start a fire with wood, matches, lighters. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have an electrical source, we go right back. We go right back to the primal age of man. You know, once you lose electricity. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it with technology, I mean, look at your phone. Like if your phone runs out of batteries, you now have to revert. Like if your battery's completely dead and you have nowhere to charge it, you know what I'm saying? Now you got to revert to the old ways of communication, which means you're going to a friend's house, a family member's house or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, you know, you're going back, you know, once the phone dies, now you got to contact friends and family by going to their home. You know what I'm saying? You no longer have the ability to contact and talk to people from long distances based on your phone. You know what I'm saying? So we're so close to we're always within the primal law. You know what I'm saying? Because all it takes is for electricity to run out and we're right back. Electricity runs out and we're right back to nature again, you know? You know what I mean? We're right back to nature's law and nature's rule. You know, if electricity is completely gone and removed. You know what I'm saying? So that's how easily it is to return to more of a basic existence. You know what I'm saying? That's how easy it is, you know, to return to that. You know what I'm saying? So that's how easy it is to return back to the basics of society, you know, right back to when we didn't have technology. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, you know? So, but, you know, this is why this level of thinking is so crucial. You know what I'm saying? If you master the ability of going full ghost, you know, so if you master going, you know, being a full-time ghost, you know, you master that, being a full-time ghost from society, physically and mentally, you will become whole. You know what I'm saying? You will become whole. I mean, for years, man, that dude shaved my beard weird. Makes me look like I got a double chin or whatever. But yeah, for years, people have been asking, yo, what is existence, man? What is the point in all this and that? You know what I'm saying? And they've gotten lost. They've done drugs. They've done all this to try to figure it out, when in reality, a lot of existence, not even reality, when in the truth, your existence has to do with your, how you identify yourself. You know what I mean? Basically, your choice, the choices you've made to form your identity. You know what I mean? And being aware of that, being aware of your choices and how they played a role in your mind, in your life. And once you've done this, man, once you arrive to this point, you're gonna become far healthier. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, physically, you're gonna become a lot healthier because you don't have anything tying you down. You don't have anything manipulating you that you didn't choose. You know what I'm saying? That you did not choose. You don't have anything manipulating you that you did not choose, you know? And once you arrive to that point, you're gonna become a lot a lot happier, man, a lot greater. You know what I'm saying? A lot greater. Gonna become a lot greater and, you know, a lot better off. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you ghost. You'll be able to be a full-time ghost. You'll be able to live by the 0 attachments, 0 emotion. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to how you choose your life, you know what I'm saying? And how, and you're all about mobility. Mobility, which is, what is mobility, man? It's about your nomadic heritage. This is all you're focused on, is being a nomad, moving around and living life. You know what I'm saying? And that is the key. That is the key to your existence and your freedom. Your loyalty to being nomadic. And the thing about the Casper pill, you know, Casper Pill 2.0, you know, I gotta make a certain, you know, abbreviation to that, so people know that the older material, you know what I'm saying, isn't as current. You know, that's one great thing about the black pill, is we're always evolving. You know what I'm saying? We're always evolving. And this is why you see a lot of Zoomers, a lot of younger people heading towards the black pill. You know what I'm saying? So to me, man, it's crazy, you know. So a lot of that is coming, and you know, it's an update. You know, it's updating it and letting people know exactly what it's about, you know, and how you're living your life, you know. You know what I'm saying? So by reaching this point, you know, 0 attachments, you know what I'm saying, 0 emotion when it comes to limiting how you move and maneuver, you'll be free, man. You'll be mentally free. And now you have also, with the awareness, you know, the awareness of your identity and the choices you made or were placed upon you, or the choices you didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Once you're aware of all this, you can actually shape who you truly are. You know what I'm saying? You can actually shape who you truly are. And you know, and it's gonna be like a breath of fresh air. It's gonna be like breathing for the first time. Saying you're gonna be able to breathe within your own identity, man. Within your own identity and who you are. And then you can make choices based on what you actually want to do. You know what I'm saying? Based on who you are and your identity. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be freeing, you know, and you'll no longer be limited. You know what I'm saying? Because once you break past the limitations of the identity placed on you, you will have absolute control over who you are. You know what I'm saying? And this is why the Casper pill is so crucial to remaining black pilled. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys, and it happens, you know, you got this in the community. I've been saying this for months. In the black pill community, there's a lot more gray pillars than there are black pillars. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more dark gray pillars than there are black pillars. Let's be honest, because how many people actually know how to stay black pilled? Like, how many people know how to stay it? You know what I'm saying? Most will say, well, I've joined the black pill community, and you know, I know looks, money, status, I know lookism, I know attraction isn't a choice, and you know, I know all this and that. But within a snap, you know, they could lose it. They could lose it because they don't know how to remain black pilled. You know what I'm saying? And this is why the Casper pill plays such an important role. Because when you can become a ghost, when you could become a full-time ghost within society, man, could become a full-time ghost. Then society's incentives have far less of a lean, far less of a pull, far less of a way to manipulate you away from your path. You know what I'm saying? Far less of a chance of controlling and manipulating you from a path at which you can lose your identity again. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand, man, and I always tell a lot of guys this. We have far more experience not being black-pilled than we have being black-pilled. You know what I'm saying? Which means our body, our mind, muscle memory, whatever the hell you want to call it, is still far more comfortable being returning. You know what I'm saying? Regressing. You know, regression. You know what I'm saying? When you regress from the black pill, you will go gray. You will either go gray or dark gray. You know what I'm saying? If someone took the black pill and they regress, they become a gray pillar, they're still gonna be enamored by things that would validate their existence in the domestic society. Maybe popularity from the domestic society. Popularity. Attention. You know what I'm saying? Because a gray pillar returns back to facing society domestically as their limitation. So when they return back to domestic society, they start seeking out validation from that domestic society. You know what I'm saying? Seeking out validation from that domestic society, be it popularity, be it whatever. And this is a domestic society we all, as black pillars, agree is not incentivized to actually help you achieve your true potential. So why would you look towards that society for validation, attention, and popularity? You know what I'm saying? The way you think in a black pill, man, you're thinking on a global level. You know what I'm saying? Your brain is just, geomaxing is basically probably one of the most important aspects of the black pill, because you're always thinking, damn, where could I get it better? Where could I get it better in another country? Where could I actually succeed a lot more? Where could I have far more freedom, far more choice? So, geomaxing is extremely important. And once your mind is locked in on geomaxing, you're never looking at domestic maxing, because domestic maxing is literally a lesser grade achievement than geomaxing. So, you know what I'm saying? If domestic maxing is lesser than geomaxing. Now, if you're new to the black pill community, I know you're wondering, what is geomax? Geomax is basically globally maximizing your currency and your resources you've obtained domestically. So if you're in the United States, you might go to Mexico to geomax, where your currency is gonna be worth more. You might go to Colombia. You might go to other countries where your currency and you being American gives you an advantage. You know what I'm saying? You can maximize your domestic, currency and resources overseas. You know what I'm saying? So when you become black pilled, you don't look at the domestic location. Of course, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna use it. You're gonna try to obtain your resources and your success domestically. You're gonna try to maximize and make some resources. But you're not gonna look at the peak of your success from the domestic perspective. Because to domestically maximize, it's actually aiming for a lesser achievement. You know what I'm saying? You got to ask yourself, the number one sport in the world is soccer, globally. Globally, the number one sport is soccer. Number one sport in the globe. We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars are generated by soccer. It's a global sport. So why would I be bragging that, hey, we got, you know what I mean? I'm bragging about my domestic accomplishment of I own a football league. That's only big in America. You know what I'm saying? Only big in America. Or, you know, some parts of Canada. You know, North America. When, dude, the guy who owns a soccer league, whatever, soccer, no disrespect to the people that, you know, prefer it's pronounced as football, but, you know, for the American people watching, you know, soccer is globally the greatest sport, the sport that's making the most amount of money, the most amount of success, has the most amount of influence, you know what I'm saying, to a certain extent, globally. You know what I'm saying? So you would want global success. You know, you wouldn't want domestic success as your limiter. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be the greatest. Your greatest achievement will be, well, I'm the greatest ever in America. When you could see the world, you want to be the greatest in the world. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the black pill is about a geomaxing perspective on life. You know, it's all about the geomax. You know what I mean? Because when the globe is your limiter, you have no limit domestically. You know what I'm saying? If my goal is to be the greatest in the world, you know what I'm saying? The greatest in the globe. Let me remove the world because, you know, you got world champions, you know, like wrestling, even though the belt is only in America, or world champions in hockey, even though it's only played domestically. You know, you want to be the global. You want to be the greatest in the globe. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be the greatest in domestic. You want to be the greatest in the globe. You know what I'm saying? You want global achievements. You know what I'm saying? Global achievements. You don't want just domestic achievements. You know what I mean? You want to be the greatest in the globe. You know? And the thing is, you know, when people forget that, you know what I'm saying? When they no longer absorb, you know, when they regress and they start vomiting and try to cough out the black pill perspective, they go gray. They switch from geomaxing and geomaxing achievements, geomaxing goals to domestics. You know what I'm saying? To domestic achievements. It's the limiter. You know what I'm saying? This is why the Casper pill is so important, because the Casper pill is basically one of your shields, one of your mental shields to remain black pilled. Because if you're, so, you know, that's why what was I saying? That's why what was I saying? That's why the Casper pill is so important. It's your mental defense to remain black pilled. You know, because if you have zero attachments, zero emotion, you know what I'm saying? You got zero attachments to anything, both physically and mentally. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier to remain black pilled. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier to remain black pilled. Because, you know, I said this on the video, black pill hunting. You know what I'm saying? Said it on black pill hunting. You know, a lot of people are coming for the black pill, man. The lesser pill community, MGTOW, and a lot of guys in the black pill community that are really gray pilled or dark gray pilled. You know what I'm saying? They're coming for this community. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot's happening. And now with Kevin Samuels passing, it's sped up what's going to happen. You're going to see a lot of men in the manosphere just, you know what I'm saying? It's a battle for that void, to fill the void of Kevin Samuels. So you're going to see a huge battle between the community. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black pillars that were gray pillars will reveal themselves. A lot of gray pillars will come after the black pill. It's going to be an all-around circle, and everyone's coming for the black pill. But the thing is, at the end, the black pill is going to win anyway, because the red pill and domestic maxing is outdated. Domestic maxing is outdated, man, and it has limitations. You know, shout out to the homie QB. The homie QB is traveling. He's showing you that, you know what I'm saying? You go global with your ideals. You know what I'm saying? You go global with dating, global with your lifestyle. You're gonna be able to maximize. You're gonna geomax. You know what I'm saying? The black pill geomaxing is an absolute goal. It's the goal of freedom. And beyond geomaxing is the gold pill, man. Being a global citizen. You know what I'm saying? Being a global citizen where you live wherever you want around the globe. You know what I'm saying? Around the globe, you live wherever you want, whenever you want. You know, the gold pill. There's a couple guys that are gold pilled, and the gold pill is all about, you know, being black pilled, then living overseas. Living overseas. You know what I'm saying? When you live overseas, you no longer worry about the domestic issues, man. You know what I'm saying? And because you're you know what I'm saying, you have the Casper pill awareness, even while you're overseas, you still won't have any attachments. You know what I'm saying? Zero attachments is what the Casper pill is built on. Zero attachments, physically and mentally. So you'll always seek out your mobility and your freedom. So even if you're overseas and something's going down that you don't like, you know what I'm saying? Something's going down that threatens your existence and, you know, your way of life, you're gonna leave. You're gonna move because you value your ability and your life. You know, you value your existence and your ability to maximize your achievements. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's gonna happen to you, man. So you won't really, you know what I'm saying, limit yourself. You know what I'm saying? You won't limit yourself to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big thing, man. You know, and when you take the Casper pill, you won't limit yourself. You know, you'll be a lot freer because you always have zero attachments to limitations. You know what I'm saying? So wherever you are in the world, you're always prioritizing your freedom and your identity that you have chosen. You know what I'm saying? Your identity you've chosen, the traditions you've chosen, the culture you've chosen, the religion you've chosen. Everything's based around your choice. You know what I'm saying? And how you want to practice it. You know, so when you do that, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a lot more freeing for you, man. Absolute freedom. You know what I'm saying? Freedom. A lot more freeing for you, man. You know? So to me, man, it's you know, it's something you gotta learn, the Casper pill, and now you've learned what I've learned. Like while talking to you, a lot of this information, I'm literally saying it as I go. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking live. You know, this is something I plan to cover on my philosophy stream, why they fear philosophy, because philosophy is free-flowing thought. You know what I'm saying? It's free-flowing thought. You know what I mean? All the big time philosophers, what is it, Socrates, Sun Tzu, the Art of War. Dude, they created a lot of this on their own. You know what I'm saying? A lot of philosophers had no books. They had to organically come up with all of this, man. You know what I'm saying? Organically. So to me, man, it's huge. You know what I'm saying? It's a way of thinking. It's very huge, It's a big way of thinking, man. So to me, man, it's huge, man, and it's gonna free you mentally. It frees you, So to me, man, it's a huge thing, bro. Huge thing, So it is, and when you realize this, when you have no attachments, no limitations, you know what I mean, and you're aware of your identity, you have chosen, mentally, mentally and physically, you're aware of yourself. It's a lot easier to stay black-pilled, man. Because there's a lot of guys, like I said, you take the black pill, but barely anyone tells you, how do I stay black-pilled? How do I maintain this black pill perspective? How do I maintain my mental freedom, my pursuit of the truth and thinking without limitations and emotion? How do I maintain it? And the Casper pill plays enormous amount. An enormous amount in that role. The Casper pill plays an enormous amount. Because you gotta understand, if you rewatch Casper the Friendly Ghost, the movie was all about, man, how do we turn this ghost back to a person so they can react and feel what people used to feel. You know what I'm saying? Because a ghost can talk to you, but you can't physically limit, you can't mentally limit that ghost. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you have to become, man. You got to become a full-time ghost. In the lesser pillar community, they've turned ghosting to dating. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, I ghosted this chick from this date. You know what I'm saying? She called me, I didn't show up. I ghosted this person, I ghosted that person. But one thing they don't add up is that, of course you gotta ghost them because you had some type of attachment to them. That attachment could be going on a date, this and that. You know what I'm saying? You had a level of attachment. So you had to ghost them. But if you was a full-time ghost, let's say you're with a girl, you're with a woman, and she's like, you know what, I want to move in with you, I want to live with you, and you're like, you know what, I have a set of rules, and I value my freedom. I value the ability to make all my choices in life above all. So you got to understand that, I can't have any attachments. You know what I'm saying? We can mess around, we can date, whatever, but due to the way this society works, I have zero attachments. You know what I mean? It's the way I live my life. You know what I mean? And I place my choices above all. So I have zero attachments. I know you want me to be attached, but I can't. Because were I attached to you, it would imply a limitation on my lifestyle domestically. You know what I'm saying? Now, later on, now some guys, so somebody might ask me, well, what if I found a girl and a woman and she wants to be with me and she wants to stay loyal to me and be mine, can I still Casper pill? Can I still be a full-time ghost? You know what I'm saying? Well, here's the thing, man. Like I said, the black pill is about geomaxing. Above all, the goal is to geomax. You know what I'm saying? Maximize your potential globally. I mean, think about, we live in America. We live in America where the money we have is the global currency. You know what I'm saying? Just being in America, you know what I'm saying? The global currency is the American dollar, which means you have to be global minded. You have to geomax. Your American dollar is geomaxing. It's the globe's currency. So you have to. So now let's say you meet a woman and you still want to ghost. You still want to be a full-time ghost. You know what I'm saying? Well, the only way this could happen, the true test to determine if she's willing to follow you as a ghost is that she would have to agree to, you know what I'm saying, agree to moving overseas with you. You know what I'm saying? And the whole setup, you know, is moving overseas. Even if you, for example, y'all move together, you got to understand that when it comes to the lease, you have to set up everything to where you could leave it without a drop of a dime. You know what I'm saying? So for example, let's say you're with this woman. She agreed to geomax with you, as in she'll agree to expand your relationship. She has to go overseas with you. She has to marry you overseas if she wants to be your wife. She wants to have your child. She has to have the child overseas. You know what I'm saying? Everything's about geomaxing. You know what I mean? And if she doesn't want to do that, and let's say she does agree, yeah, she's living with you, even her whole lifestyle, she's following your plan to eventually move overseas and become a gold pillar. You know what I'm saying? To be a global citizen, live somewhere else across the world outside of your domestic setting. If she agrees to that, then what happens is, you know what I'm saying? That's great. But here's the thing. What if it fails? What if out of nowhere she changes her mind? This is why you have to set yourself up in a situation where you have zero attachments. And what do I mean by that? Let's say y'all live together. You would have to have paid your entire lease, man. So that way you can leave. If the thing goes sour, you got to be able to leave, man. You got to be able to leave at a drop of a dime. Shout out to Uncle Guns, man. Uncle Guns once said, man, if my house burns down, I could leave it. You know what I'm saying? And that was huge. That is huge. He said, if my house burned down, I could leave it and move on. So basically, if this relationship ends, you could just leave it and move on. This is why you will end up, you know, as a full-time ghost, you'll usually end up alone. You'll usually end up alone because most women, I'd say about over 90%, over 95% will not agree to this lifestyle. They will not agree to placing ghosting and placing, you know what I mean? Will not agree to prioritizing leaving society, leaving domestic society for a greater location where the government doesn't interfere with your relationship. You know what I'm saying? The majority of women will not agree to this setup where you're like, okay, baby, we're living together. We're going to live a very minimalistic life and we're going to save our money. I'm saving my money to go overseas. And you got to save your money to do the same. You know what I'm saying? The average woman domestically will have too much value in the incentives of this anti-male authority authority and anti-male leadership, you know what I'm saying, in a relationship to actually concede to your leadership as a man to basically go, you know, to ghost, to accept living a ghost lifestyle with you. You know what I'm saying? This is why, being a full-time ghost, the odds of this happening are extremely rare. You know what I'm saying? I know one of the homies, man, who did it. Shout out to Blaxican. Shout out to the homie, man. He did it. He succeeded, man. He did it. And it's an extreme rarity. It's an extreme rarity to find a woman that will basically move forward with you, based on you as the director of her life. You know what I'm saying? Because that's usually what a relationship between a man and a woman is supposed to be. The man is supposed to be the director. He's the leader. He's the director of this movie called Our Life. You know what I'm saying? But the odds of you finding that domestically are extremely rare. I mean, it's on some, to reference Yu-Gi-Oh for some of the homies, it's on some assembling all 5 pieces of Exodia. You know what I'm saying? Let me put that back to you, to assembling all 5 pieces of Exodia. That's how rare it is. That's how rare it will be for you to find a woman domestically that will follow your lead. You know what I'm saying? That will allow you to direct her life. You know what I'm saying? Her whole lifestyle, how she moves, how she lives. You know what I'm saying? To pursue the geomax. You know what I'm saying? To pursue the geomaxing of your lifestyle. That's how rare it is. You know what I mean? That's how rare and damn near impossible it is. You know what I'm saying? To tell a woman, yeah, baby, you gonna dress, you gonna make your purchases. Everything we do will be based on a budget I've created to benefit us eventually moving overseas, to have our family overseas. You know what I'm saying? And some people say, well, what do you mean by that? I mean, every country overseas teaches English anyway. I mean, they teach American education anyway. You know what I mean? English, but with a little less propaganda, depending on where you are. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the country you're planning to move to, it will determine, you know what I'm saying, where you are. You know what I mean? You go overseas, like let's say you go to Colombia, you go to the Philippines, or one of those countries, you know what I'm saying? They're still gonna teach English. But they're gonna teach with far less of the propaganda we have here in the States. So if you have your child overseas, you know what I'm saying? They'll have a far more controlled education, where there's far less propaganda and agenda to warp their mind. You know what I'm saying? To have them have issues with their sexual identity, have issues with all this and that empowers them to seek out money from you to pay the corporations for an operation. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. So you would take her overseas. And here's the thing. You might have to have it where she would probably move overseas before you. You know what I'm saying? She would probably move overseas before you and live there and take care of your child there, and you'd come back and forth. You know what I mean? It all depends on your resources and how you're gonna go about moving. You know what I'm saying? Not every man's gonna end up in the same scenario, same situation. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone's gonna be, bam, I could just get up and move overseas. Not everybody's gonna be able to do that. Not everybody's gonna be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Many people, it might be, well, one of us will move there first, then the other will eventually move there and catch up. You know what I'm saying? That's what usually will happen. One of y'all will go, then the other might follow. But then that depends on a lot of trust. A lot of trust and a lot of, avoiding red flags. And there's so many of them. You know what I'm saying? There's so many of them you would have to avoid. You know what I'm saying? There's so many you would have to avoid. you would have to avoid for this to work. You know what I'm saying? For this to work. So a lot of men that take the Casper pill, that are black pilled, will basically say it's not worth it. It's not worth it for me to go on potentially hundreds of dates. You know what I'm saying? Scour the domestic country to find a woman worthy of my loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Worthy of my trust. So a lot of men who take the black pill and have the Casper pill awareness, they'll say, nah, man, it ain't worth it, bro. It ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? It is not worth it. And the thing is, it's an attachment. It's an attachment at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And the way the Casper pill works is zero attachments. Zero attachments. So think about it. You trying to get a woman domestically to go overseas with you is another attachment. It's an attachment of bringing a woman from the domestic location overseas to validate your journey. You know what I'm saying? To validate your journey. So a lot of men that take the Casper pill will say, nah, it ain't worth it, man. It is not worth it to do this. It's not worth it at all. It's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? To do this. You know, I'd rather just achieve it. I'm a ghost. I'm a full-time ghost. And I have Casper Pill 2.0 awareness. You know, it don't matter if the woman is domestic at all. It doesn't devalue the woman overseas because I didn't bring a domestic woman with me. My journey overseas isn't devalued because I didn't bring a woman from the domestic location with me. You know what I'm saying? So the Casper pill, man, the Casper pillar having zero attachments emotionally and, emotionally, mentally, and physically. You know what I'm saying? Zero attachments. Emotionally, mentally. Now, like I said, with the mental attachment, it's about your identity. It's about your identity. You have no mental attachment to your identity that you didn't choose. So your race, not your race, but your religion, your culture. You know what I'm saying? Even race. I mean, technically, you could say that. I mean, if someone says, well, you're a Negro, you're a white man, you're a black man, and you could be, well, no, dude, I'm an earthling. I'm an earthling above all that. It don't matter my race. I identify as an earthling. I'm an earthling. I don't choose to limit myself with racial identity and racial politics. I'm an earthling. You know what I'm saying? You could identify me. You could call me a black man. You could call me a white man. You could call me an Indian man. You could call me an African, Asian. You could call me whatever you want. You're free. You're free to call and say what you want. But I identify as an earthling. So as an earthling, as a child, as a person of the earth, I don't choose to limit myself based on, geographical location. I don't, limit myself based on being born in this state, in that state, this nation, this country. I don't limit myself by this. I'm an earthling. You know what I'm saying? You can choose whatever you want to call me. You know what I'm saying? You could look at my birth certificate that says, I was born in Africa. I was born in Jamaica. I was born in India. You can choose this. You could choose this. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I identify as an earthling. You know what I'm saying? My birth certificate, all this stuff doesn't matter to me because I was born on Earth. I'm an earthling. You know what I'm saying? And that's how free your identity becomes, man. You become that free. You know what I'm saying? And, that's freeing yourself. That's having no attachments mentally to your identity and identity politics. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, you don't have any attachments physically. So physically, that's your appearance. That's the limitations of your location and all that. You don't have any physical attachment to none of that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't limit you. That doesn't limit you or who you are. So it doesn't matter to you. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean nothing. You know what I mean? And then, of course, emotionally. You don't allow your emotions. You don't have attachment to emotions. Nostalgia. Oh man, I was born and raised here. I'm gonna be buried here, and I love it, and this is who I am. This is where I am. This is everything I will always be. You know what I'm saying? Emotions. You don't have any emotional attachments. You know what I'm saying? Because once you have that, this is why the government is running amok. The government knows people have emotional attachment, and they can manipulate that. Oh, you're a Southerner. You should behave like one. I reckon I should. I am a Southerner. You're a Northerner. You should behave like one. I am a Northerner. You know what I'm saying? They use identity politics and attachment to dictate how you will move and to predict how you will move, because they get you to first identify as these perspectives. Then they basically get you, man. That's how it works. You know what I mean? That's how it works, bro. So there's a lot. Now, shout out to the homie Neo Wolf. As Neo Wolf, he spoke about this with me. He spoke a lot about this, and give me a minute. Hey, shout out to the homie Neo Wolf, and he spoke to me about this, and basically you can, now if you can't geomax, you can national max. You know what I'm saying? National max. Because a lot of times we speak about geomaxing, but we don't speak about national maxing. You know what I'm saying? So what is national maxing? Well, national maxing is basically, man, if you live, for example, you live in, the North, you live in New York, there's a lot of stress in New York. Shout out to the homie Pops, shout out to the homie Mike. You know what I'm saying? You live in New York, and it's a lot of stress, a lot of stressful activity living in New York, and you want a less stressful lifestyle. You want a geomax, but for the time being, you can't afford that. So what you do is you national max. So you move within your nation to a location, a state. For example, if you're in the U.S., you move to a state where it's more affordable, where the going's a lot easier. There's a lot less stress for you. You know what I'm saying? A lot less stress, a lot less issues. For example, a lot of guys, shout out to the homie Neo Wolf again. Neo Wolf moved further to the west. You know what I'm saying? He moved further to the west, and he found life there a lot easier. The people are a lot nicer, a lot more calm, have a lot more morality where he's at. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just moving outside of your state, to another state, to create new opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So you can move to another state and and maximize the national location. So for example, some guys I know from the north, they went to the south, man. They went to the south. They found life a lot easier in a southern location. The pacing was more to their liking. You know what I'm saying? The southern hospitality was more to their way of life. They wanted to move, so they went to the south. You know what I'm saying? And some people in the south will move to the north. Some people from the South will move to the North. You know what I mean? Because maybe the South is moving too slow. It's not moving as fast as they want to move with their life and how quickly they want to gather resources, or, they just are more comfortable with a faster paced lifestyle. So some guys will move to the South, to the North, you know what I'm saying? So you can national max, you know what I mean? There's, national max, of course, it won't be geo-maxing, but you could literally just move to another state. Because, I've talked to a lot of homies that are pursuing, they're black pillars that are pursuing the gold pill. The gold pill is basically getting your passport and moving overseas and living there and starting your life there. But a lot of guys, they can't afford that so soon. And what happens is they break down. You know what I'm saying? They break down and they give up. You know what I'm saying? Because they think they could just quit their domestic location cold turkey. I'm here, I'm in Germany, I'm gonna move. I'm in Canada, I'm moving to another country. No, you don't have to, man. You're not a failure if you can't just up and leave your country. No, you ain't a failure. You can national max. Like if you're in Germany, you move somewhere in Germany that's a lot more to your liking. You know what I mean? That matches your style of life a little more before you could up and completely leave Germany. Or you're in Canada, you could move somewhere in Canada where it's more to your liking and your pacing of life, and then you move out of Canada. Or you're in the United States, like I said, you nation max and go to a state that's more beneficial for you before you move out. You know what I'm saying? Before you leave the nation, or geomax. You know what I'm saying? So there's always a middle ground. There's a way to adapt that style for your life. You know what I mean? There's a way to do it. So to me, man, it's, there's a lot of choices. Once you obtain the Casper pill level of awareness, it's a lot easier to stay black pilled because you're a ghost now. You're a full-time ghost, physically, mentally. You're a ghost. And and the thing about this, when you become a full-time ghost, it's a lot harder for society to control you, for your domestic society to try to control you. You know what I'm saying? Certain car brands, holidays, housing, lifestyles, you become immune to it because you become on a level of, it's not personal, it's business domestically. You're not attached to any personal agenda or personal persuasion or personal incentives. You're only attached to, to obtaining as many resources as you can so you can pursue your geomaxing, and to pursue the gold pill eventually, or nation maxing. You have no attachments. You know what I'm saying? And once you're a full-time ghost, even family can't control you anymore. You know what I'm saying? You don't have any attachments. You're only attached to yourself is a priority in bettering yourself. And if people aren't with bettering you and becoming better and you achieving more, you will basically keep moving. And in your mind, you're not abandoning anyone. You're not abandoning anyone because you never had an attachment anyway. You know what I'm saying? Once you go full-time ghost with this Casper Pill 2.0 knowledge, Casper Pill 2.0 knowledge, once you've obtained this Casper Pill 2.0 knowledge of your mental, your physical, and emotional mastery, you know what I'm saying? And detaching yourself from all these states. You know what I mean? You don't lose anything. A ghost, you know what I'm saying? What does a ghost do, man? It just goes through walls. It goes through walls, man. So when they put all this advertisement They put a wall of advertisement towards you, a wall of shame tactics, a wall of shame where they're telling you you're a failure because you didn't do this domestically, you didn't do that. It doesn't affect you. You're a ghost. And ghosts go through walls. You know what I'm saying? They could stack a whole wall of incentives, advertisement. It won't mean nothing to you at all. You're just gonna go right through it, man. That's what ghosts do, man. If you watch the movie Casper, you know what I'm saying? He went through walls. Of course, the problem with Casper is he had a emotional attachment, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that whole movie was about turning him back to a human. And once you become a full-time ghost, you're gonna see that society will keep trying. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, shame is being hurtled towards your way. Be it from family, be it from co-workers. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not attached to a lot of things. And the thing is this, when you're a full-time ghost, you don't even display discomfort. You know what I'm saying? If they're like, hey man, we're going to the bar, you want to come, and you might be like, well, you know, not tonight, fellas. I gotta go do something else. I might have to type something. I gotta type a book I'm working on. And they gotta be, hey man, you never get loose, man. You're always moving this way and that way, bro. You know, and you're just gonna go. You're gonna be like, thank you, fellas, and I'm out. You don't have any attachments, man. You don't miss out on anything if you were never attached to it anyway. You know what I'm saying? You don't miss out on anything, man. There's no shame. You know, shame won't affect you. Emotional attacks on your mind. You know, when they say, oh man, you're Jamaican. You're supposed to do this because you're Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? That person's Jamaican. You're supposed to have interest in that person because they're Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? You won't even feel anything because you don't have any attachment. Yeah, so you won't have any attachments, man. And once you have no attachments at all, you know, your mind is completely clear. You know, you've ever had that moment where you just become numb? You know what I'm saying? You become numb. You become numb to everything, man. It's not that it's an emotional or something. Because to me, man, there's a false advertisement, you know, and a lot of times they use the Buddha thing. You know what I'm saying? They showcase a monk. When a monk becomes enlightened, he's smiling, cheesing, you know what I mean? Just, you know, super smile. But in reality, what I've come to learn, man, it's with another aspect to remaining black-pilled. It's called the flatline theory, but that's a whole other discussion. But basically, man, when you become, you know, when you've reached that level of a ghost, a full-time ghost, you become numb. You know what I mean? You become numb to all aspects trying to attach and control you. You become numb. Become numb to it, man. You know what I'm saying? You become numb to it and you move on, you know? You know, you don't feel guilty. You don't feel you're missing out on anything because it's not part of your plan and your idea of what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And you become numb. You become numb to any tactics, emotional, religious, racial, nationalistic, anything that's about an identity. You become numb because, man, you're a ghost. You know what I'm saying? Become a full-time ghost. And once you become a full-time ghost, you're just moving, man. You're moving through the world at your own pace. You know what I'm saying? And you're adapting because you adapt a lot quicker because you don't have attachments. You know what I'm saying? You're not looking to save anything. You're looking to save yourself and always place yourself at a point where you can be mobile. I mean, even your lifestyle might become, and I did this on a video, mobility is freedom. Even your lifestyle might become more about prioritizing mobility over anything. You know what I'm saying? Not stationary. Because think about it. Your phone, you got a mobile phone. You know what I'm saying? Mobile phone. You got a mobile phone. You got a mobile, what's the word? You got a mobile phone. Yeah, let me get back to it. Yeah, think about it. Your phone is mobile. Your laptop is mobile. Your tablet is mobile. Your car is mobile. Why isn't your home mobile? You know what I'm saying? Because what you're gonna realize once you become a full-time ghost is that you prioritize mobility. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the governors and government of your township or your state, let's be real, they don't care about you. They just care about how much money they can make and how much they can manipulate you to take more resources from you. You know what I'm saying? So what happens when you become a full-time ghost is that you start valuing your mobility. So you start looking at it from an opportunistic perspective. For example, you're like, man, if I could get a job from, let's say, in another state. Let's say you're in New York and you're looking for a job in Georgia, and they call you. They're like, yeah, we'll hire you. We'll give you this job. We'll hire you. We'll give you this job. And they hire you. You know what I'm saying? If you have an apartment, if you're trapped on an apartment or a household, and they say, yo, we want you to start working in 2 to 3 weeks, how you gonna go there? How you gonna start this job in 2 to 3 weeks when you have a whole home, a stationary house? You're not. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta move all your stuff there, or if you move, you gotta still pay rent back home, and then you gotta pay someone to move all your stuff over there. So a lot of guys are gonna go, become more about mobility. So you're gonna see a lot of guys when they take the Casper pill, they're gonna start living a mobile lifestyle. That means they might get an RV, they might get a camper and attach it to their car because they value mobility more than being stationary. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. When you're stationary, subconsciously, you're gonna gather more stuff. You're gonna stuff more stuff into that house so you can stay there. You know what I mean? You have a subconscious mental condition where you feel, man, I gotta put more stuff in my house. I gotta put more stuff in my apartment because I live there. You know what I'm saying? Because I live there, So you're gonna become more stationary. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna become more stationary, and that's the lifestyle you're gonna pursue, and it's gonna limit you. So and here's the thing, a lot of guys will say, well, what if I miss living in a house, in an apartment? You can always, with Airbnb, you can always rent a house, rent an apartment if you want for a week or two if you miss stationary living. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna prioritize mobility. And I mean, think about it. We've been conditioned to pursue a house. You know what I mean? Pursue a house. Pursue stationary success, and limit ourselves from mobility. Like, they want you to buy a house and all that stuff. But here's the problem with buying a house. And you can make some money. I'm not against people making money. You could make some money buying a house to rent it out and all that stuff, to be the landlord. Yes, you could do that. But if your goal is to just buy a house so you can live there, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make as much sense in this modern world. It don't make sense in the modern world. You know what I mean? I'm gonna buy a house just so I can live there. You know what I mean? It's not gonna bring in money or nothing. I'm just gonna buy it. Of course, some people say, well, I live there to sell it. Yeah, you could do that. But the problem with buying a house these days is a lot of it is you're buying into a slavery. You're buying into a system. For example, there's the homeowners association. The homeowners association. So you buy a house. You buy a house, and then how you live your life is based on the homeowners association. So let's say you bought your house and you're like, man, I want to put up a 18-foot fence, a 20-foot fence. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You can't put a 20-foot fence. Or you want to make some other modifications. You want to put a windmill or something. You can't. Now, some of this stuff makes sense because, you know, fire hazards. You know what I'm saying? It might be fire hazard reasons. But a lot of times you can't customize or alter your house unless you get approval from the homeowners association. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna buy a house so you can get approval from other people on how your house should be. You know what I'm saying? Homeowners association and all that. And now let's just say what like the government did in 2008, where they bailed out the banks. The banks destroyed the homeowners, you know, the housing market with their corruption, and how they were giving away loans to people that didn't qualify. Now you got a house, and all of a sudden the whole neighborhood is bankrupt. You know what I'm saying? And the place loses value. Now a lot of abandoned houses happen. A lot of abandoned houses that have been foreclosed and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now that whole neighborhood that used to have value doesn't have any value. You know what I'm saying? Because of what the bankers and the government allowed to do. You know, so now that whole neighborhood is, you know, with cardboard, you know, boarded up houses that are foreclosed, and the property value goes down. You know what I'm saying? But if you have mobility in mind, you can always chase your opportunities. Always chase your opportunities, and you're always ready to move. Always ready to move no matter the situation. You know, you're always following you're always following the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Because you're mobile. Because of you've mastered mobility. And since we all know how corrupt the mayors and all this stuff is, you're better off being mobile anyway. Because if your town just went completely bankrupt, or you see a sign of your state going completely bankrupt because they're too leftist, they're too liberal, they're too conservative, all that BS, they're not about making a citizen's life better, you could move. You just leave. You pack up your stuff, man, in that RV, you get that new job, and you're gone. And the other reason you want a mobile home is that in a mobile home, you're literally saving money while living there. You know, with an apartment, you got to pay for gas, electric, water, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff you got to pay for. You got to pay for all this stuff. Give me a minute. You know, you got to pay for all this stuff, and, you know, you got to pay for all this stuff, you know. So when you got to pay for all this stuff, man, you're losing money. You know what I mean? Gas, electric. But in a mobile home, you're only paying for what you use. And I've even heard that in mobile home parking locations, it's usually like $200 to $250 a month to park your mobile home. You know what I'm saying? Or your camper. You know what I'm saying? To park it, you know? So you're saving money. You're probably saving $400 to $800 a month. You know what I'm saying? Because you living in a mobile home, parking it in a trailer park or whatever. So you're saving money. And when you want to go someplace, vacation or whatever, you have the money. You know what I'm saying? You have the money, so you're not worried. You have the money because you've been saving money. You know what I'm saying? That's all you've been doing. Because in your mobile home, you maximize minimalism and saving your money. I mean, we all saw We all saw what happened with Conan 19, man. Conan 19 woke up every American, especially the men. It woke them up that the government doesn't care on a nationwide scale. First they said, well, if your immunity is strong, you'll be good. And, you just got to wash your hands. And if you got 2 weeks to isolate yourself and you'll heal. And some people, man, they never got it. A lot of people never got it. Some people, they had it once and they got better. And instead, they froze up the entire country. They froze up the entire country. They limited people's ability to work and make their earnings. So imagine if those people that just bought a home, and a house, and then Conan 19 happens, and now they lose their job because their job wasn't essential. Their job wasn't essential, and now they can't make the payments on their house. They can't make the payment on their house. You know what I mean? They can't make the payment on their house, and they gotta put their house on foreclosure, or the government does that thing where they did during Conan 19, where they basically said, oh, you don't gotta pay rent for a while. We'll hold it. Really, they just increasing the debt and what you owe. Because if you lost your job and all that stuff, how are you gonna pay the payments you're late on your mortgage? How you gonna pay it? How you gonna pay it, man? If you're late on your mortgage, you know what I'm saying? And you lost your job, how you gonna pay it? It didn't affect the government. It didn't affect a lot of the big government people making money. It didn't affect them at all, you know what I'm saying? They kept making their money, man. Because, they kept making their money, and they even, forced the serum on some people, you know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that was done during Conan 19. A lot of people ran off with money. They foreclosed a lot of houses so they could resell it at a cheaper price. You know what I'm saying? They shut down a lot of family-owned businesses. You know what I'm saying? Mom and pop stores that were restaurants. Some that were active for over 80 years shut down because the government said, you know what, hey man, even though there was flu season where people get sick and keep it moving, you know what I'm saying, we got shut down the whole country. So a lot of the mom and pop stores and restaurants, you know what I mean, that weren't food chains, they shut down because a lot of their money was made off of word of mouth, made off of people coming there, a lot of people sharing their location, renting it for parties and all that. They shut down. And a lot of the major corporations just kept making their money. McDonald's ain't lose nothing. Wendy's ain't lose nothing. They started doing a lot of Uber Eats and orders out. You know what I mean? The mom and pop stores, they ain't survive. They didn't survive Conan 19. A lot of restaurants that I loved or followed, they're gone. You know what I'm saying? A lot of locations gone. They didn't survive Conan 19. You know what I'm saying? They didn't survive it. They didn't survive Conan 19. And, but the major corporations did. This is why I say, man, you have to place mobility as priority. Your mobility is the measurement of your success. Because what do people always say, man? Well, you made a loss, but you got to keep on moving. You got to keep on pushing. You got to keep on moving. Keep on pushing. You know what I mean? Move forward, progress. Look forward. Well, how you going to do that if all your investments are stationary and you can't move? You can't make any moves because your stationary investments limit you. You know what I'm saying? Your stationary investments limit you. So, it's a funny thing, man. It's a funny thing how things happen. And I mean, even Jersey, for example, a lot of millionaires, some millionaires left Jersey, man. Now the government was, once you're about to leave, that's when the governors are like, well, come back. We'll do anything. We love you. Come back. And as soon as you come back, they put the middle finger back in your face. You know what I'm saying? They put the middle finger right back in your face. So you got to value and pursue mobility. That's what you got to value, man. You got to value and pursue mobility. You know what I'm saying? Mobility has to be your priority. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of your investments and focus has to be on. You always got to be mobile. I mean, a lot of Americans now are moving into those mini houses and all that because COVID-19 woke up a lot of Americans, woke up the world, where people are looking at it as, man, I got to invest in myself. You know what I'm saying? I got to invest in my safety and my mobility because the government, that's the last thing they care about. You got high inflation, all this stuff going on, because they closed some of the ports. Well, we got to sanitize it for COVID-19, the destroyer. You know what I'm saying? All that BS. The government doesn't care, man. The government wants you to be stationary. I mean, look what they did in 2008 with the housing market. Then look what they did with COVID-19. COVID-19 was the nail in the coffin and small businesses and mom and pop stores. It was the nail in the coffin, because, you had Obamacare pop up where they forced small businesses to provide health care, forced it on them. And that limited the amount of hours people could work, which limited the amount of money that was put into the economy. I mean, I remember back in 2000, some of the homies I knew were working 80 hours a week. Some were doing hundreds of hours. Some were doing double, back after back, doubles, triples. They were working as long as they could to save, to buy a car, to do whatever they were going to do. You know what I'm saying? But once Obamacare came, nope, no more of that. No more working and trying to make as much money as you can. No more of that. In fact, we're cutting the hours because the job has to get you health care and they're going to limit how much they pay you. And here's the thing about your job providing you health care. They're going to provide you whatever's beneficial to their pocket. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of jobs got you health care that benefited them in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people lost out anyway, This is why, man, you gotta, once you take the Casper pill and become aware of this zero attachments to zero attachments to your mental identity, zero attachments to your emotions, and zero attachments to, physical, you know what I mean? You position your life to be a full-time ghost, to be the embodiment of a ghost. Because a ghost has no attachments, you know what I'm saying? Ghost can go through walls, a ghost can just move and go wherever it wants. You know what I mean? And that's how you reach freedom. You're going to become numb and all that, man. This has been, man, thank you for watching and listening. I look forward to your comments and, look forward to your thoughts on this. You know what I'm saying? The Casper Pill 2.0. Because, when you're a ghost, you're ghosting everything. You're ghosting everything, man. Nothing affects you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Everything's about what you want to do, your existence. You're not attached to validation, obtaining validation. You're only attached to one thing, is prioritizing your freedom and your mobility. You know what I'm saying? That's why what's up, brother? You know what I mean? That's why you have zero attachments. That's how you gonna move a lot better. You know what I mean? And it frees you. It frees you far more than it traps you. Because now, you're not gonna be, oh man, I won't work today or make resources because it's my birthday. You're gonna be, man, it's another day, I'm alive, great. but I gotta get this paper. I gotta get my resources, man. I can't be burning my money during my birthday, burning my money during these holidays. And you know, if you look up the amount of holidays in America, man, it's crazy. There's a clown nose day. You know what I'm saying? There's cat day. There's dog day. Then there's pet day. There's so many days dedicated on you spending money. You know what I'm saying? So even if you become disattached to your own birthday, you know what I'm saying, where that doesn't mean nothing. You know, it doesn't mean anything when it comes to limiting what you'll be doing. You know what I'm saying? You'll become absolutely free, man. It's a lot of freedom in that. You know what I mean? A lot of freedom. A lot of freedom in it. You know, once you become a full-time ghost, nothing can control you. Even how you purchase things. You know, like I said, how you purchase things, you're all about your minimalism. And you can always, I mean, think about it. You know, you can always rent an expensive car. If you have a notion or thoughts, or you just feel, you wake up feeling like you want to drive something expensive, you can always rent a luxury car. You know what I'm saying? So when it's something about you just feel like doing something, you can always rent it. You know what I mean? That's what we're in the gig economy. I mean, you know, that's what's great about today. Everything's up for rental. You know, back in the 90s, you had to buy certain things, but everything's rental. I mean, even now, dude, if you don't think you want to drive, if you just want to take a long ride, you know, statewide, but you don't want to drive, you could just order an Uber to drive you from here to wherever. You know what I'm saying? From here to wherever, and you just enjoy the ride. You know what I mean? There's so much choices that have nothing to do with attachment. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with attachment. You know, so you have that much power and that much choice. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. You know what I mean? The freedom you have today. But before you become aware of it, you got to be aware of the factors that have made you unattached to your freedom. You know, unaware of what freedom means in your existence. You know what I mean? Being distracted by purpose and all that. You know what I'm saying? Your purpose. Purpose is always changing. You gotta remember that purpose is always changing with the times, the location. You know what I'm saying? Purpose is always changing. You know what I mean? Purpose is always changing, but your existence remains the same. The laws of existence have not changed. You know, food, shelter, water. You know what I'm saying? Your mobility, your ability to be nomadic. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that. So you gotta look into that, man. You gotta. There's a lot of that, man. A lot of this going on. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of it, man. A lot of it going on, man. You know, but hey, man, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, man, I hope this helped you out, man. I hope this opened you. Because, man, while recording this, it really made me think. And here's something I got to tell you to try. You know, you got to, you know, open a notepad app. Open a notepad app, man. Open an app, and what you got to do is make a list. Make a list of things that you enjoy. Make a list of your identity, your religion, and start pinpointing. Try to pinpoint whether it was your choice or it was given to you. You had no choice to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? You got to start identifying what you've done as a choice, you know, rather than, oh man, it's part of our culture, so we ate a lot of this, we danced a lot to this music, that music. It was part of my cultural experience. You know what I'm saying? So what you got to do is you got to make a list. I plan to do it. I plan to do that, and you could join the Discord. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be making a list and I'm gonna tell guys to do the same. You know, we'll compare our list, and you know, we'll talk about it and figure out which ones are our choice. You know what I'm saying? Which one is a choice and which one was something we were raised in and we had no choice. And it's not a negative thing. I mean, you know, you're not here to blame your parents or blame your culture. You know what I mean? That's how they raised you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this from a negative perspective. You know, you're Haitian and you were raised with Haitian culture. It's not negative. You know what I'm saying? But or you were raised in Italian culture. It's not negative. But what's negative is to limit yourself solely based on how you were raised and, you know, what your culture perceives. You know what I'm saying? Limiting your achievements and what you can accomplish and attaching yourself to that identity. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make a list, man. Shout out to the homie Shift, man. Shift always says, you know, you got to write something. You know, you write something on a book, you write it down, and you decide, you know, what you're going to do. You know, you write down something, and this is what you got to do. And trust me, this is going to help you with your health. Because think about it. If you made a list of what you eat, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you made a list of what you eat and what you enjoy eating. And if you figure out that, man, what you enjoy eating wasn't something you chose. It wasn't your choice. Like, for example, if you realize, man, I love sugary cereal because I was eating sugary cereal when I was like 4 years old or 5 or 6. Man, that's before you had a choice. So now it's a lot easier to cross it off because mentally you're plugging it in as something that wasn't a choice. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you basically, you're hot wiring your mind. You know what I'm saying? Now you're playing with your subliminal mind. You know what I'm saying? So your mind is like, damn, man, all that sugary cereal wasn't my choosing. It wasn't my choice. That's a problem. That goes, you know, that was in a freedom of will. You know what I'm saying? So you're tricking your brain and you're playing with your subliminal mind. Because now your subliminal mind is equating, you know, sugary cereal to something that was forced on you or something you didn't choose. You didn't have your freedom of will. So it becomes a lot easier to eliminate that from your eating habits because you're like, man, this wasn't my choice. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't my choice. You know what I'm saying? This sugary cereal or, you know, this fried chicken, you know what I'm saying? This baked ziti, what, you know, all these high carb diets, it wasn't my choice. You know what I'm saying? And once your brain realizes that, damn, you know, subliminally, damn, it wasn't my choice. Now your brain starts adapting. It starts altering subconsciously because it wasn't your choice. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Was Dunkin' Donuts my choice? You know? You know what I'm saying? Once you realize this, you can rig and hotwire your brain, hotwire your mind, and it alters the way you think, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot easier to get healthier. It's a lot easier for you to heal. You know what I'm saying? Get detached from the incentives of your domestic society, your culture. It's a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and even nostalgia. You know, nostalgia, you start questioning it now because you're like, man, this is nostalgic, whatever, but was it something I chose? Was it something I chose? You know what I'm saying? If you grew up watching Blue's Clues and you're like, oh God, man, oh man, it's Steve. You know, when he made that video and, you know, a lot of people cried and all that. And people are like, oh my God, I miss Steve. And, you know, I saw him, I missed him too. Shout out to Steve. But you're going to be like, man, Steve wasn't something I chose. It was something my parents would just play when I was little. It wasn't my choice, man. It was something they would just play when I was a little kid. And it wasn't something I'd like to watch today. You know what I'm saying? You ever wondered why? And I think this is why the Casper Pill's so important. You ever wondered, man, you got older? You got older and you go watch something you used to watch when you were younger. You know what I'm saying? When you were younger, you used to watch, you used to love it. And now you're older, you're like, man, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I couldn't stomach watching it because, you know what I'm saying? Because you never really liked it. It wasn't of your choice, man. It wasn't of your choice. It was something you were made, you were made to watch, or you didn't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like I could go back to some old shows and be like, damn, man, I'd never watch this today. I'd never watch. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what I was thinking, because you want to know why I wasn't thinking. I didn't have a choice. A lot of guys who grew up in the 90s, 80s, we had reruns to watch, or sometimes we didn't have cable, so we watched whatever was available. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have much choice back then. So we watched whatever was available, and then you start talking and they're like, oh, you watched that? You were into that? Well, man, we only had channel 11 to channel 5. We just had basic cable. So I watched whatever was on WB, whatever was on UPN 9, whatever was on Fox. So there wasn't much choice. I watched a lot of reruns. It's all we had. You know what I mean? So to me, man, it's that's how it is, bro. That's how it becomes a matter of, what was your choice, man? And that's why you tend to not watch certain things, because you're like, man, I look back at this thing, it's garbage. Even some video games, you go back, you're like, man, I can't play this. This is garbage. Or even music. You're like, man, I can't listen to this, man. This is garbage. You know what I mean? Or even some food. You try to eat it again. You're like, man, this is garbage. I can't. I don't like this at all. And then you're struggling to be like, oh, maybe I just grew up. That cope that's made. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I just grew up. I'm older. No, bro. It ain't about your age. It's not about your age. It's not about you growing up. It's about that you realized you never had a choice but to participate in this thing. You know what I'm saying? This activity or this eating habit, whatever. You didn't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? So now you have a choice and you have awareness. You're like, man, I would never choose this. And it allows you to move on from it, because you're aware of why you don't enjoy it anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So, man, I hope this video helped you. And, the Casper Pill 2.0. Hope it really helped you and helped your mental. And, we got more, man. This is Black Pill 3.0. And there's a lot more to come, a lot more content. We about to do a lot more things, man. It's about to get a lot bigger. We're expanding our knowledge beyond everything, man. Black Pill 3.0. 2020 is and beyond. It's gonna be a very learning moment, a learning time. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest with you, man, I hope y'all enjoy this content. I look forward to your comments, and you could always join the Philosophy Discord where we'll talk and discuss these things. But other than that, peace, and have a good one.
Pill ill, y'all niggas better listen. I'm black 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 pill, I'm ill with this will. 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 They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of this place.